the unspeakable things I would do to be one of her shoes. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do it too. Have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Get another fun fact. Yeah. Come on now, you know what time it is. It's Ichi the Witch time, aka Peakshy the Witch time, aka you know I had to pre-draw for it. Ichi the Witch is nothing but straight gas. So I have to pre-draw. But I'm excited. It looks like we're finally cutting back to Descaros versus Itsuki. Because we did leave off at a pretty crazy cliffhanger when you think about it. What many perspectives do we have now? We technically have 3 separate perspectives. There's 3 separate groups we need to follow. But it looks like we're cutting back to Descaros. Because we have, obviously, Chrono versus Kizashi. That's still going on. But obviously it's like Kizashi 3... Yeah, it's Kizashi and 3 of his clones versus Chrono, I believe. Or 3 of the brothers, quote-unquote, versus Chrono right now. That's currently happening. We have Gokuraku versus the remaining 3 clones. Pooh, Muscles, and... the little guy, Teeny. Yeah, I think it's like Pooh, Muscles, and Teeny. Like, they're all currently fighting Gokuraku right now. And obviously, everyone else is running away with Gokuraku. And then we have Descaros here with Hitsugi. So I'm very, very excited to see this one. Mainly because we ended off last time with Libro being revived as part of the group that Descaros needs to slaughter again. Now, admittedly, I don't actually know how Descaros is going to react to this. We've seen that whenever we... well, not necessarily. I think I have a general guess. Something tells me this is going to backfire. Possibly both ways. The main reason I say that is because last time something that reminded her of Libro happened, she adopted... I'm kidding. The last time something that reminded her of presumably Libro's death happened, it was the manifestation of the World Hater, right? Like at least it's heavily implied that the thing that happened to Libro that made it that there is no more Libro is that the World Hater appeared. That's why she tweaked out and dove straight into the cocoon when she realized that it was there. And even the World Hater points this out, like, you seem nettled. Very, very nettled. What's good with you? Who was it? Which family member? Like obviously. So if that happens, something tells me she's going to tweak. She may just start tweaking. And if she does start tweaking, will it, like, how will this turn to Hitsugi's favor and not just get him more easily captured because she's going to be tweaking out more, right? Because the one issue with Hitsugi in particular, especially now that he no longer has the World Hater staff, which name I ever forget, Chronovera or something like that, the one that Kizashi has now, right? Since he doesn't have that, it doesn't. I don't want to say that Hitsugi isn't comp to Descaros, but it doesn't really seem like Hitsugi is comp to Descaros, like, in the slightest. So I don't know, unless like it is a concentration / focus / AJK thing where, or like really it's like a Dragon Ball thing where if one's guard is down, their like defenses massively drop. I don't know how Hitsugi's gonna be able to take advantage of the fact. Like I don't think any of these fodder zombies she's slaughtering, even Libro, would be enough to like do anything to her. But I don't know. I'm excited to find out. Let's not waste more time. Let's hop right into chapter 64 of Ichi the Witch with a Ska, which is known as Promise. All right, let's see. Wait, nope. I need to click. Oh, okay, I was scared. I almost ended the video there. But luckily enough, I was not foolish enough to do so. Oh. This is East Condor, right? Flashback time? All right, let's see. What voice do I really struggle with Ichi's Witch so much because there's so many women and I can't do female voices. Do I gotta speak to this? Let's see. My name. No, I gotta give, like, I don't know how to give myself echo. I don't know how to speak with, like, an echo. I don't want to just repeat the phrase. Let's see. My name is the Fatal Shot, Maljik. Have you come to seek my power? I mean, presumably. Interesting, though. Descaros got Iskandar really young, I'm guessing? Like, she barely looks maybe 5 or 6. Wait, how? I don't know how old Descaros was when Libro got Libro'd. Huh. Like, how close in age? I don't actually know. I know Descaros is the older sister, but I don't know by how much older. We know so... Now I think about it, in the grand scheme of things, you know who we know the most about in all out of all of our main cast right now? Gokuraku! The most recent addition to it. Like, we know a good chunk about Kamugi, but we don't, like, we've met her parents in a flashback. But we haven't, like, met her parents. And, like, where... We don't have, like, full context for where they stand in the world. But I say, like, It's probably Gokuraku at 1, because we know, like, his entire family structure, the location of all of them, and his position in the world. And then it's Komugi. Then it's barely Deskros, and then it's Ichi, man. Like, we barely know anything about our main cast, now I think about it. But here we go. Deskros is going to claim Iskandar, or the Fatal Shot Magic. Interesting. Alright. Hi. Are you sane? Oh yeah, why is it 2 finger guns at her? When it's asking that question? I mean, I guess it is a good question. I'm assuming it has like a very difficult trial, and this is a child Deskros who's trying to claim it. I mean, we ball though. Why not? Let's see. Are you sane? Okay. What is that? Oh. Does it have like its own whole temple or anything like that? Alright, let's see. My trial is to control me well enough. Hold on, let me see. That's too soft spoken. This too. I want to. You know what? We're gonna go. I'm gonna keep testing voices until I find one that feels right. My trial is to control me well enough to strike the bullseye on that far target. First is the stance. Oh, interesting. It takes most over 10 years to learn how to hold it properly. Was it right hand? Right hand. Widespread. Arm down. Arms kind of parallel. I don't have a wand. So actually I do have a wand size object. Hold on. I'm assuming the issue with the stance is like the recoil. Cause like typically, I don't actually. But I've seen other people like go to firing range and stuff like that. But like typically you stand back, like you plant yourself better. Because I'm guessing Iskandar likely has massive recoil, so like maybe that's why the stance is so difficult to maintain. To be able to just hit the stance is one thing, but to actually maintain it while you're presumably experiencing the recoil of Iskandar firing is crazy. But actually, when I think about it, interesting that the trial requires like a self-control or like a control of the magic by the trial taker. Because notably, so far we haven't. I mean, like technically, when I think about it, Urawashi was like that kind of because you had to make them beautiful, but it was Ichi was like, oh, let me cut you up to do that. That wasn't seemingly implied by the base nature of the trial. But in this case, you literally need to control the magic. Though that makes me wonder how often is it cleaned? Like what is this whole temple that it's at? Like, is that meant to be like a place of worship for it? I don't know. Let's see. It takes most over 10 years to learn how to hold it properly. My trial requires great focus, great magical power, great physical strength, and great marksmanship. In other words, you stand no chance as you are now. Okay. So yeah, it likely, presumably it is the sheer recoil. Actually, it looks like since Iskandar essentially treats itself like it looks like, right? Like it looks like a veil, and ironically enough, the reason I tried to give it like a more effeminate voice at first is because like it looks like a wedding veil to me. Which I guess like men can wear. I just never usually see it. But there are some cultures where like men do wear the wedding veil as well. But since it's releasing the power, it's probably using you as a conduit to form whatever you're firing. It's acting like essentially, what's a good example? It's like a water gun. You are the water. You presumably are the magic in the water, and then you fire off, and then you have to maintain the stance. But clearly, young Deskros could not do that, so it looks like she doesn't get it here. You stand no chance as you are now. Normal witches pass out at my first touch. Oh yeah, okay, so it is literally like that. It is very much like a water gun where the pool of magic is likely used as the drain. Yep. Normal witches pass out at my first touch. All their magical energy drained in an instant. Yet you held it for 10 seconds. Interesting. Normal witches. And we already know that technically, at least with the Mintanel, witch is actually a very rare title. Despite being the Mintanel Witches Association, there are like 8, right? Because it's Monogold, Togais, Deskros, then the other 5, I forget their names, but like the Bullet one, the Music one, the Older Evil one, the Gluttonous one. Is that it? Is it only 10? Oh, and Shirobadana. Shirobadana is 8, I think. I'm also like 10 now with Ichi, right? So presumably the rest of them are normal witches, but they would pass out in an instant from the Iskandar. Very interesting. You have the potential You're just too young. That's interesting. That's interesting. But you know what though? There are definitely some people who are like that, where like you are able to see the innate talent that they have at a very young age, and you're like, oh, you just got to deal with it right. And some people do, some people don't. It is interesting, and like especially as I myself have gotten older and I've seen it, like not just in my peers, but actually seen it in kids that are much younger than me, and I've seen them grow older as I've grown older. I'm like, oh yeah, you noticed that you had potential, or the people around you noticed you had potential, and they helped you maximize it, and they did well. So it's interesting that Iskandar is like, yeah, I see the vision. You know ball, just not now. And it looks like Discross is even humble enough to do it. Let's see. I'll come back later. All right. Interesting though. She doesn't look like she left too far. She still seems here. All right. Well, I'm guessing she like leaves, recharges her magic, and then comes back to get drained the next day. All right. She holds a stance, gets hit by the recoil, falls over, holds a stance. Okay. All right. Stunning. How fast. Oh, so yeah. So this is all within like the same period. She doesn't even leave, seemingly enough. Unless I can't tell if she's like meant to be getting older here. It looks like she's just maintaining the same age. So she just comes back day after day after day. Stunning. How fast you grow. How quickly you adapt. I've existed for 500 years, yet I've never met someone with the talent you have. That's interesting. So she truly is a Gojo like character, right? Like I mean, a lot of people, especially with witches, sorcerers, magic, powers. Like a lot of people, upon reading Ichi the Witch, including your boy included, you can go back probably like the first chapter, and I probably somewhere made a Gojo reference, but very similarly, Descaros seems to be that type of character that just rare spawn that just happens every once a couple thousand years, specifically with them existing for 500 years and no one with that level of talent. That seems to imply that Iskandar was never claimed. That may be why they have like a whole temple of worship that you can just come to, because they're like, no one can do it. Like, this is literally an impossible trial. But Descaros has it. Descaros knows ball, and thusly she's that archetype, which is interesting because in comparison to like a Gojo and Sukuna archetype, Sukuna ate his brother. Gojo didn't seem to have any siblings, because apparently Gojo was taken from his family at a very young age. Like, his actual birth parents, like, he was stripped from. So we don't even know if he actually had siblings. So, interesting. Interesting place to put her in. Presumably that's a way to give her humanity and a weakness, though. Let's see. Shut up! I'm trying to concentrate. Don't talk to me! I mean, I don't know. I've always, as much as when a younger me was much more hesitant to take glaze, but as I grew older, I was like, well, if you're going out of your way, I want mine. So that's kind of how I feel now. But it seems like Descaros is too locked in, or as rude a mouth. I don't know, Iskandar, if they're cooking you. Let's see. Girl, why are you in such a hurry to walk the thorny path required to? Wait, no. Why are you in such a hurry to walk the thorny path required to acquire my power? So I can be the greatest. That manic hunger. That is very interesting, right? I don't know. And it's why I always say, at least whenever asked, the idea of like, do you think you will go down in history? Do you think your name shall be remembered amongst the halls of many men who predate you? Do you think that you will be eternal in the accomplishments you reach? Do you think you will ever reach the levels of a greatest, the best of all time, the GOAT, if you will? And notably, I'd say no. But unlike for many others, I feel like I've accepted such a fact and lived with it and almost find a bit of joy in it. Because the one thing I've noticed for people who have dedicated themselves entirely to that is that there can only be one greatest, typically at least at a time, right? Like, eras change, people grow old and die, primes exist and then cease to exist. But there are many people who I know who are just sad because they weren't able to make it. Like, people I know who specifically went to college to get into the league, whether that be the football league, the hockey league, the basketball league, and they just didn't. Now they work a regular 9 to 5. And I can see in many times, and I occasionally hear, because they'll talk to me about it, how that saddens them. And they definitely still did have talent. They were definitely good with the sauce, but, there was somebody greater. And while a good chunk of them have just, moved on, we're old now. We're old men. We don't have time to be dreaming about the times of the past. We can reminisce fondly, but, like, these bills ain't gonna pay themselves. But in that case, there is like an ever-present sadness. But at least for me, when I accepted and almost cherished the fact that I was not alone in whatever quote-unquote supremacy I had at a point, it made me feel more at peace. And I think it quelled a hunger inside me, but it didn't necessarily erase it. It's like it repurposed it, if that makes any sense. Now, instead of like a hunger to be the greatest ever of anything I do, whether that be content creation, work, or exercise, or anything like that, I want to be the greatest version of me. The one who produces the most consistent content, the one who has interesting thoughts, the one who enjoys what he does. Like that is now where I find the pleasure and the joy in my life. What do you think is good? Because that doesn't spontaneously exclude me from anything else. It's just and admittedly, a bit more of a self-centered view. Meanwhile, Deskros and her motivations, and many of the people I know, and not even know, some people I've just heard anecdotes from, their motivations are so reliant on how the rest of the world and others view them, that if anything were to ever contradict it, it can be dangerous. Or it can just lead to self-destructive habits. Let's see. So I can be the greatest. I'm gifted enough to be the world's most powerful witch. Ah, arrogance. How very human. I mean, that is true. I mean, but notably, I don't know. I always think it's good to have pride. Despite, I know it's one of the seven deadly ones, but I think you should have a strong sense of self. I'm not saying it's bad to follow anybody. Look at your boy. Look at your boy. But I do think you should have a strong actualized sense of self. Just acknowledge that your strong actualized sense of self exists in a world with people with other selves. I think if you can have both, a respect and absolute reverence for yourself, but also respect and reverence for others, then you are well balanced. Not perfect, because nothing's perfect, but well balanced. Let's see. No. Oh? No? I'm doing it because I made a promise to my dumb little brother. Ah. So it's an extra. That's wrong. So is this meant to imply that she lost Libra at this point, or is he still alive at this point? Or is he still alive? I mean, I don't actually know. He may literally already be dead. Especially considering, because I think in the flashback where it was confirmed that Libra existed, I think he was like reading her books. And he had she gone to school yet? Because like Deskros goes into the Mental Witch Associations, or the school, Mental School for Young Witches. Like she went into that relatively young, so I'm not actually sure timeline wise where Libra died. But I think it is in her youth. I think she's been struggling this for a while. Because I made a promise to my dumb little brother. But she's calling him dumb at this point. I'm assuming he's still alive, right? And he was like, "Bet you can't," and she was like, "Yeah, I can." Let's see. What is your name, witch? Deskros. It is a pleasure. Deskros. Oh, okay. Did she do it? Yeah, she did it. All right. Golly! Someone calc this. This has got to at least be city level. I'm kidding. Probably not. Looks a little bit too tiny. But still. Golly! All right. And she did this as a child. But there we go. Yep. It is a pleasure, Deskros, to call you my master and the world's greatest witch. Was she really as a child? I do, like, as much as I like the idea of Deskros struggling with being the strongest, right, and like what that entails, I do actually hope the other witch associations that are not the Mantinel, like, they do have some sort of comp for her, or like she has more matchup stuff. Like I'm really hoping, because golly, she was this strong even as a child, man. What? Let's see. All right. My name is the Piercer Marsh. Oh, so is this Lazud? If the last one was Iskandar, this one's likely Lazud, right? Piercer, because pierce through everything, Lazud. My name is the Piercer Marshik. My trial gets straight to the point. Let's see. My trial gets straight to the point. Sit upon the tip of one of these needles, unmoving for 100 days. How'd you do that and not starve? Or die of dehydration? But, okay. So, okay, I'm gonna hazard a guess. She got Iskandar really early, because she's not even in the uniform yet. Right? So she went and got Iskandar super early, because she's not even in uniform yet. Here, by this point, time has passed, because she's in the Mantinel Witch's uniform that we saw in the flashback with Togais. And then she's a little bit interesting. So it looks like she got Golconda later in life, like possibly in her teen years, just based on how she looks here, because this is later in time from this point. All right. My name is the Confession Magic. My trial is 1,000 questions. If even one of your answers displeases me, your head will fly. Okay, so I'm assuming we're just getting a montage of the main magic she captured. And so far, all the spells we've seen her use so far. Which makes sense. Well, you're not going to show us new spells. At least not yet, I don't think. But, interesting. So she was able to answer 1,000 questions, and Gokanda was cool with all of that. Alright, let's see. But at the same time, I can completely now seeing what she was like and when she was doing this, I can see why her magics have absolute reverence for her and like do not disobey her or anything like that, and why she has, at least so far, it's implied she's never run into the Uro problem that Ichi's having, where like Ichi currently cannot actually control Uro despite being his master because Uro is just that much more powerful than him. Meanwhile, Deskara seems more than capable to stand alongside, if not flat above, every single monster she's captured. They are truly just spells. They're truly just new applications to use her raw power. They're nothing beyond that. And in that case, I get it. Let's see. And okay, so she's fighting Ding Dong. Still seemingly in school. Okay, alright. Oh! She had to play tug of war with Yatsugami? What? What? And she won! Deskros is a muscle mop. The thing is though, like in her current fit, because it's so baggy, I don't think we actually, like the most casual fit we've seen her in, all of them are baggy. We haven't seen her in like a tank top until this point right here. But I was able to tell her arms just look really, really slim. Sorry, bro. Oh, if I can just find me a girl. Wow. That's a minor update on something I'm working on. It's going. Who knows? Maybe one of these days y'all see me pull up with a Desk Girl book on a little video. You know, like if I ever show up to reaction extra cheesy but I don't say anything, like if I ever open up a live reaction, I'm looking at you like this. Do you know what I'm working on right now, or something else that may have to work on in the future? No, something worked out. No, something worked out. But darn, she beat the Thread Dragon in a tug of war. She ding dong the ding dong. I actually don't know. I actually don't know which one this is. Oh, this is. These look like the tiles she's leaped off on before. Let's see. Faster. Wait, no. Faster, stronger, more power. But yeah, all this is definitely well after Libro's death. But I think a very interesting thing to note here, now that I'm looking at all of it, she's not smiling. This is something consistent. Even here when she's a child, then when she's older but still a child, not smiling. With a Confession Magic, Golconda not smiling. Here we don't see her face against Ding Dong, but doesn't seem to be smiling against Yatsugami. I'm not sure what this one is, but doesn't seem to be smiling. Like, she has been, she is in that point where she's consumed by that promise, her need for power. That's what she has become. It is truly the point where she is defining herself and her being by the nature of her promise. She is the strongest because she's Deskros, and she's Deskros because she's the strongest. She can't let anything else define her. And that, I mean, like, it's an existence that clearly helps people, right? Like, her supremacy in the world is what allowed Ichi to exist as he is right now. Very, very akin to Gojo and JJK. But that is sad to see. Because it'd be one thing if she was smiling and still finding joy in it, but you can see she's doing this solely for the sake of gaining more strength. Nothing more, nothing less. That's unfortunate. Life is still meant to be lived. But let's see. Oh, jeez. All right, she was lucky to say what's happening, but golly, just going insane on these bodies. I will be the greatest. I mean, shoot, she already the baddest. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, she truly is a monster. Unstoppable, the most talented witch to ever exist. Like, now, but here's the thing. By setting her up like this, man, Ichi's gonna have to have some demonic power development, bro. Or like, obviously I know Ichi's the potential man to end all potential mans, but whew, he has so far to climb. so far a climb. Because like Deskros, even though we've definitely like knocked her down a peg or two with the battle against Itzy a little bit, and then obviously like the glaze of the World Hater and her inability to defeat the World Hater directly, despite her clear motivation to, like, she's not like the pinnacle of power in the universe, but like she's simultaneously kind of is though. Like she is so far above. I now, especially having read Welcome to Demon School Irumakun and knowing how long that is. Where before I was kind of unsure, like, how long is Ichi really gonna be? Is it gonna really be, like a 300, 400? Like maybe it's gonna end around like the 200 or something. No, I like, especially with how well it's doing, it's consistently like a top 3, top 5 in Shonen Jump. It's not getting it will literally, like, Shiryu likes to say, to explode. It has, because Osamu Nishi Sensei. I can now say this confidently. I'm gonna make a video about it, but like I can say this confidently. I am almost convinced we're not even a third of the way through Welcome to Demon School Irumakun. Like, it sounds so crazy, but like that's 424 chapters at the time of recording. We're nowhere near done. None. Not even close. We're nowhere near done with that manga, bro. That's what Osamu Nishi Sensei doing art and character writing. Now Osamu Nishi Sensei just says, right? Dog, we're in it. I'm in 1.3 seconds in. So let's see. The greatest. Lazood. Darn. Just violating. And notably, look at that. Not even despite all the blood flying around her, she has not been hit yet. But they are swarming, they are mobbing, but it doesn't seem to be very effective. And that's the thing I'm wondering, right? Like, how effective are they? Especially if she, now knowing she won Tug of War against the Thread Dragon. How are they going to be like, these are just random fodder as far as we can tell. Let's see. But then again, though, she won while glowing, right? Like it looks like she beat Yatsukami in Tug of War while she was glowing with magic. So maybe her magical aura and potency can drop when she's not focused, if I had to hazard a guess. Interesting though. She is always surrounded by these like, or this magical aura though. So maybe this is meant to indicate, like, if this is ever down, then she's not at full power, because the sparkles are surrounding her throughout all of this, and they even surround her till the modern day. So like these little sparkles here that are consistently drawn, they may represent like her locked inness or her focus. And since she's had them since her journey began, except like she doesn't have them here. So for a second I thought they were just part of Iskandar, but notably they do seem to surround Iskandar, but they're clearly here, and then here, and then they show up again when she's with the Piercer Magic, and then again when she's with the Confession Magic, then again, and then again, and then again, and they're still here. So I'm assuming this is meant to indicate, and like, look, they're even showing up in their magical spells. So I'm assuming this is the indication of Deskros' focus, her determination, and all that. So if this falls away because of the sight of Libro, then she may be fried. She may be reduced back to like base human status. And that is a lot of bodies. Let's see. Lazood. Boom. All right. Lindell. Oh, I forget completely. So Lindell was likely this one right here. I did not recognize Lindell at all, bro. Let's see. And you know, one thing I do like about her fighting style in particular, and I'll give it credit. So this is one critique I had for shows like Sensei and Ichi so far. We don't really actually get much fighting choreography. I love how Deskros fights. It is very, it's elegant yet direct, if that makes any sense. It's like, what's good? I don't do dance, but I do know dancers. But like, it's like point dancing. Like, notably, whenever I've seen like a solid dancing routine, like if you know it because you've seen them practice, it's like each step is an instant emotion, point to point to point to point to point. It is truly like music, and that's why, you know, typically dance goes along with music. And Deskros seems to fight in that same way, where there's this like elegant balance between her motions and her actions, where each move flows into itself, from the sweeping slice here to get the full spin attack, into the Lazood thrust forward, into the thrust upward in order to activate Lindell to slice through all the body. Like she's moving, like it's a circle into a point, into an upward thrust. Like it's very refined, but you can still tell it's very forceful from the wind that's being thrown around her to obviously the damage of the attacks of the spell she's using. Let's see. Oh, and look at Hitsugi. He's literally just chilling to watch it. But I guess that's the thing, right? There's no point in fighting Hitsugi. He's not, unless he's like the 10,000 body. She needs to do this. Let's see. Slicing off the heads of your own kind, bathing in their blood, all merely to pass a trial. How utterly fiendish. You're less a witch and more a demon. But like, call. See, like, whenever I say this, I always think like, man, maybe I do sound like a bit sociopathic, but like, for our real world stuff, right? I always go from the idea of, if it's you or me, at best it's going to be both of us. At worst for you, it's going to be you. Like, and like I said a million times, I don't believe in violence. I don't think violence is good. But I'm big and hefty. I can't fight. But whoo, you're going to remember me. I'm leaving here with something. So like that's my general prospect, even against other humans, as much as I value and respect human life. But like, especially in a case like this, Hitsuki, these people are already, like, they aren't even real people anymore. They're dead. You've resurrected them, you've returned them, but you didn't return them as like a human state. They're monsters now. And I don't know, call me insane. Maybe it's the zombie apocalypse guy. Maybe like, sorry, lost human status. Like, especially if it's me or it goes back to the fundamental idea. If it's me or them, it's gonna be them. Like, what do you want her to do? Just run, or not slaughter them and just get eaten? Like, why would she not fight back? So I don't know. This would work better if the humans, but I get why, because I genuinely do not think that she was, like, Sensei and Usami Sensei could get away with like actual real humans being annihilated like this. So it's probably meant to be like just a more representation thing. But then again, like other manga actually do it, like Chainsaw Man and JJK. So like maybe this is just like, a theming thing or like a thematic thing. But it'd be one thing if when Hitsugi used his reverser ability, that he actually brought back the real person, like the human being, like these were real people, and like their only condition to survive would be to like kill Deskros, right? Like they can fully return back to life if their condition is to do that. But since they come off across more monster-like, then I'd feel less pity. Then I'd be able to do what Deskros is doing, and I wouldn't consider myself, and nor do I really consider Deskros a demon, because she's slaying monsters in a way right now. It'd be like in a zombie apocalypse kind of thing. If the zombies are just like mindless creatures that just want to eat me, then I'm not gonna think about it too much. If a zombie, funnily enough, it goes kind of to the Free Run, another magical universe, where like I may get gaslit by a demon in that universe if I'm not careful. Because imagine if a zombie came up to you and was like, I know, it's me. You wouldn't hurt me, would you? Please, just come here. If they didn't look like, if they just looked like a person and they weren't, but they still, were trying to eat me, then like I would probably hesitate, and that would probably get me fried. So like in this case, then I would say if you're able to just ruthlessly sight through people who look like people, act like people, are people, but they just happen to be monsters, then maybe a bit more demonic. But in this case, I'd say Deskros is just doing what needs to be done, and especially since you're providing the bodies, Hitsuki. Let's see. Oh, okay, so she is actually getting covered in blood. For a moment there, it looked like she was pretty much untouched. But no, she is actually, some of the blood is getting on her. I didn't even notice it. There's some here, and then there's a little bit staining her clothes here. Alright, so she is actually being covered in blood. Alright, so it's not entirely perfect. Which, I mean, hey, if Deskros still has more room to grow, I know that too. Let's see. You're calling me the demon. That's rich coming from you twisted freak. I do wonder, how does Hitsuki feel about, like, he's a Magic supremacist, but he's, like, a strong Magic supremacist. So how would he feel about, like, an Inazuri, a Bakugami, or any of, like, the weak Magics? Like, I'd say the Kendake, but the Kendake's actually kind of cracked. Like, I actually would love to see what Hitsuki would do in this scenario. But, like, no, there's no way it would, like, involve Magic. Like, I just want to see him interact with Magics that he views as lesser. I really want to see that from Hitsuki. It'd be interesting. Let's see. Thanks to you, I feel gross. The shock as my blade hits the flesh. The groans, the blood. It's so sickening it makes me want to retch. Who wants to be out here, hacking people to bits? But see, that's the thing, she still sees them as people. Yeah, maybe I'm just... Then again, I'm not actually there. Like, it probably is more like people, like, when you can see them and feel it and smell it. Like it probably just is, like, a more active scenario at the moment. But hacking, yeah, I see why she would view it as that in that case. Hacking people to bits. I sure don't. But I'll do it. I'll cut them down. I'll stab them. I'll shoot them. I'll ignore my pain and anguish. I'll set aside my... Yeah, there it is. I'll set aside my conscience. I'll pass whatever trial they give me. Because I made a promise. And see, like... it is truly a beautiful thing what the human mind can do when it's set to do something, but at the same time, it is terrifying what it can become. What not even can become, what it can devolve into. Like a maddening focus, all for the sake of a promise. I mean, it's like I suppose it's a good promise. It's a promise that helps many others, but like, man, what about you, Descaros? What about you? What about your heart? What about your conscience? What about your mind? What about your pain? What defines you if I remove that promise? I suppose her strength, but like, what motivates you without that? I don't know. And I always do it. I'm asking these questions. And I remember I asked somebody that, I'm like, what motivates you in your current life? And they're like, Uno reverse card, what motivates you? And I have an answer. What motivates me is the desire to be me. Which sounds so like, it's so vague and nebulous, but I mean like, I do what I want, how I want, within the constraints of the freedom allotted to me by the world I live in. And I want to maximize that. So I want to record and make videos because I find that fun and fulfilling. I like interacting with people, so I do that. I want to, well, admittedly, I don't want to go to work, but since, like I mentioned, within the constraints that society has forced upon me, that I will go to work at a job I would like to work at, and I feel like I'm doing good work at, in order to make sure that I can live and eat and not end up homeless and then probably jailed, because now homelessness is quickly becoming illegal in more and more places. Like, there are those things that do define me. And if you were to strip away my work, I would still have that. And if you were to strip away the videos, I would still have something else. Like, I essentially, I want to be able to live and know that I am a person beyond just one thing. That's my motivation. But even still, that feels a little bit hollow. So I get whenever I do ask this question, people are like, what a reverse card, what are you actually? And they sometimes are satisfied with my answer, and sometimes they aren't. The friend who wasn't satisfied with my answer said, you need to come up with a better one. I have not yet. I had that conversation like 4 months ago now. I'm still thinking of a better answer than that. But what is your purpose? Why do you? Who are you if I were to take away the one thing that defines you? Or do you have multiple things that define you? I don't know. Let's see. Shoo! There it is. Because I made a promise to be the greatest there is. Moving spooky. Very interesting though, considering she can summon her magics like into the real world, at least temporarily. I'm shocked she doesn't use them to fight more. Like, she doesn't use them as more base summon. She just summons them temporarily. Like, wouldn't Yatsukami be like a perfect thing here? Like, just have Yatsukami like violate everything around you, then you wouldn't have to be covered in blood. But maybe it's like a stamina thing. Time to finish off this gross excuse for a trial and acquire your creepy butt. But you know what? It's to sing with like the throw away your conscious part. Even though she despises and does not like Hitsugi, she's like, I'm going to acquire you anyway. You will be mine, because that is the point. She is the greatest. Iskanta. There, I was wondering because like we ended off the few chapters ago with this, but he finally made it. All right. Big sis. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, look at him, Jesus. All right. Like, this is bad, horrific for Descartes. Like, presumably he's gonna get her guard down, and look at how close these things are now. But look at him. Look at bro. He's like, I just did my big one. She got to 9,999, but this last one go crazy. Or like, he's probably at like 9,000 or like 8,000. We'll see. Ting, the same piece that she wears. And in fact, let me look back. I think that may just be, I can't tell. I don't know if you've seen Kid Descross like before. Oh no. Well, it's may just be colored wrong there. Yeah, it looks like it was just colored wrong on that first page. She's always had this little piece here, right? So I'm not sure if that's like a part of her culture wherever she's from in this world, or if it is just a memory of her brother, who may have also been wearing it because of part of their culture. But the ting, the shining light of it. I wonder how he was able to summon this one in particular. Does that imply that like her nation was around here, or did he like specifically just summon him? I don't know. Let's see. You're the best, sis! Being the strongest witch and catching all the bad magics, saving the people who are suffering, being a hero. That's so cool. So like, what did she do? Oh, and that the fact that they mirror, it's on her left side, it's on his right side. But like, when did he die? I actually don't know. I have no clue. Let's see. Saving people who are suffering, being a hero. That's so cool. I wish I'd been a girl so I could be a witch too. If only. Let's see. You be one for me, okay? Be the greatest ever. Promise? She did promise. I know that promise acts as a shackle. An interesting shackle, though. Let's see. Sure. So yeah. Yeah. So wow, that's actually crazy though. Because we've seen the World Hater do more. Oh man, he was missing a whole arm. Did he try to fight back against the World Hater or something? But the World Hater left just enough of him to be recognizable. Or maybe, or actually, this may be the reverse of Magic effect, where like maybe he was fully like my brain. Since I watched him making the little circus, my brain wants to scream abstracted, but like he was fully warped. But then maybe he undid just enough of it, so like he could be recognizable to end up triggering her trauma here. But yeah, yeah. But see, this is once again, if at least I would think, if put in the same situation as Discross in this very instant, this would just fill me with an unhealthy amount of rage. Especially like knowing that they're gone and knowing that they've been gone for so long. Like I could not fathom the fury that would exist in my heart if someone were to try and use someone I've lost against me. But then again, that would probably make me slip up, right? Like the rage that would consume me in the moment would probably cause my downfall one way or another. So let's see, Descaros. Now that you've finally seen him, how will you react? Descaros. Oh yeah, so she's fallen. And up. What did I mention? What did I mention? Yeah, she's not gonna get. I don't think we're gonna boom Descaros here, but she's probably about to not complete Hitsugi's trial. Because what did I point out that was there throughout the entire chapter? Except for like a few pages early on. The second she hears that voice, the sparkles that have surrounded her, like the manifestation of her power, of her aura, that's there whether or not the Magics are there or not, it's gone. These little sparkles that surround her, they're all gone. Her sword, which has not shaken once in her hand, now quivers, uncertain. And those bright sparkles that indicated her power are now replaced with dark dots. Libra? To be continued. I gotta wait 14 days out of your break. Ah! That was weak. Let me redo that one. That was a bit better. Worthy chapter, absolutely. It's a fantastic exploration and confirmation / manifestation of what Descaros is as a character. She is the strongest archetype. But in particular, the interesting thing about her instance of the strongest archetype is that it is clearly something she does entirely separate to her own. When I think of like Sukuna in terms of his motivation for being the strongest, he did it entirely for himself. It was like, I'm here, I'm doing it, this, that, and the third. For Gojo, it was sort of just the role he was given, right? Like, he had to be the strongest. Because he was, in one case, and two, because he was raised to be. He was raised to be a weapon. That's a big part of him. But for Descaros, it's very clear that she probably did always have the potential. She probably you would have gone on to probably already become the most powerful witch by circumstance. And just, like, the passing of time. Like Gojo did, like Sukuna did. But her entire being is based around the loss that she suffered all those years ago. And it defined her to reach these insane heights as fast as she did, to utilize her potential to the maximum, to the fullest, and do everything she could to achieve it. And while that has been like a good guiding star, and it's allowed her to help many people, and it's allowed her to reach heights she may have never reached organically, it's clear that it isn't the healthiest to be consumed so purely by such a thing. While it seems like it could have no downsides, I fear the idea of such strict definition it's almost too much. Even if something does define you to the point that it does strengthen you, I think that strength can be so easily felt as a weakness if that's all you have, and it seems to be all that Descaros has. She doesn't like the two things to point out is that the magic, the sparkles that have like defined her certainty always surround her, but she's never smiling as she does it. In fact, she only smiles this chapter in this one laugh. Otherwise, she's completely flat faced, if not frowning, for the rest of the chapter. Because like, it's very procedural. It almost means nothing to her, and that lack of definition is sad. But I'm very excited to see where this is going to go. So, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, bars, please do me a favor and leave all there isn't. I was going to do there instead of all there is. Leave all there isn't in in the comment section down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that little notification bell so you do not miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, you do have a page down below. Use more me for as low as $1 a month. These things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member to the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions, share the shows I have to review, ad-free early variations of ad-free variations of all my videos, early ad-free access to all my videos, and I don't just mean all videos here on the main channel, meaning things like reviews and tier lists and any discussion videos you get early access to, but also all other channels I produce. Currently, there's only one second channel. That got the reaction link in the description down below. I got 45-minute to 2-hour long reactions all the way over there every Saturday at 1 p.m. EST. If you're on Patreon member, you get early access to all of those. And then on top of that, you get your name listed at the end of every single video I produce on this channel, on the second channel, on any channel that ends up having to exist. You get your name listed there. And if you are a $3 member or higher, you get your name listed and read aloud at the end of every single video I ever produce. And on top of that, I do have that guy with the controller, my little Twitchy Witchy, link in the description down below if you want to roll through and chat with your boy live about anything, whether it be the Ichi the Witch chapter of the week or anything at all. We do that every Saturday, or not every Saturday, every Friday at 8 p.m. EST, so you can go down there and follow your boy if you want to ever chat live. And on top of that, if you want to drop 5 beans for a short video, 25 beans for a long video, or any beans at all, any support is always greatly appreciated. For the one time, the link to my Ko-Fi is in the description down below. Now, I want to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Glacier XZ, Zera, Brandon Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Pura Ura, Enzo, Swift Strike, Super Flame Zero, Yuki Ally, Striker Man, Grim, Ollie, The Boy, Corey Watson, Damon Brown, Magic, CCC, Romano Furen, Dino, Heath Nelson, Hector Gonzalez, Black Sage, Tim Thomas, Kaving, Julian Perez, Akolade Babatunde, Union I, RXN, Nevis97, Logan Guzman, Dead Meme, Karudir, Christian Carter, Jagoda, Keon Stewart, Donovan McIntosh, Sino King, Hamza Idrisi, BNA DNA, Edwin Igmignoba, Cyan, Straw, Cybersage 12, Athen Shear, Antavius Mitchell, Plant Crone, Azo2404, Kriye Panem, Zapro, Weary Exile, Karina Hernandez, Sheesh King, Window Life, Alex Kenny, Victor Jacobs, Todd, and Dre. Then, let me thank you to Art tier patrons: A+A, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Dread Zoen, Midnight Lord 21, Wind Draco, Alyssa Buhanos, CJ, and Brandon Cathell. Then I'd like to thank you to our Inc tier members: King RTX and Shrimpo the 4th Shrimp 06. Then I'd like to thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. Then I'd like to thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Walkie Munoz and Walkie Munoz.